Imagine like trying to rebuild a house, but you only have these super faded photographs of the blueprints.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That sounds impossible.
Right. And, half the materials are just gone. The original architects aren't around anymore. Well, that decay of time, that's essentially what prosecutors are fighting against right now in Las Vegas. Welcome to the deep dive.
Yeah, it's a huge task.
So today we're looking at the latest court filings and legal analysis. And our mission here, especially if you're a beginner to all of this, is to break down the fundamentals of the Tupac Shakur case. We want to figure out exactly what happened in 1996 and why it's suddenly all over the news cycle this specific week in August 2026.
It really is a massive stress test of our justice system. We're watching prosecutors try to legally anchor these chaotic events from 3 decades ago. And they're pinning it to a single defendant sitting in a courtroom right now.
Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah.
Because we kind of all know the basic timeline, right?
Yeah.
Going back to September 7, 1996.
Yeah, the fateful night.
Exactly. The 25-year-old Tupac is riding in a BMW in Las Vegas with Suge Knight, who, co-founded Death Row Records.
Right, they had just left a boxing match, I believe.
Yeah, exactly. And then this white Cadillac pulls up alongside them and just opens fire.
It's so sudden.
And Tupac tragically dies 6 days later on September 13th.
Which just shocked the entire world.
Yeah, it feels like this jarring movie plot twist, right? But obviously this was a very real, very tragic reality. So I have to ask you, what was the catalyst here? I mean, was this just random street violence, or was there some specific trigger earlier that night?
Well, there was absolutely a trigger. So earlier that evening, there was this intense confrontation at the MGM Grand.
Okay, wait, between who?
Between Tupac's entourage and a guy named Orlando Anderson. He was a member of the Southside Compton Crips.
Got it. So it wasn't random at all?
No, not at all. And what's fascinating here is how they connect that casino fight to the actual drive-by.
Right, because Orlando Anderson isn't the one on trial right now, is he?
Exactly. The man actually facing the jury today is Orlando's 63-year-old uncle. His name is Duane Davis, mostly known as Keffe D.
Wait, really? The uncle?
Yeah. The prosecutors are framing the drive-by as a direct retaliatory gang attack for that earlier fight.
And I really want to push back on this dynamic for a second. If the nephew was the one in the fight, why is the 63-year-old uncle the only person ever charged with the murder nearly 30 years later?
Yeah, that is exactly why this is making headlines right now. Jury selection just started yesterday, August 10th, 2026, in Vegas.
Okay, why?
And Duane Davis, he isn't actually accused of pulling the trigger.
He's not.
No, he's accused of organizing the attack. I mean, the state argues he secured the vehicle, organized the crew, and actually provided the gun.
Oh, I see. So it's about accomplice liability.
Right. Under the law, if you mastermind a murder and hand over the weapon, you are just as guilty as the triggerman.
Even if you didn't fire the shots yourself.
Exactly. And, he has pleaded not guilty to all this.
But proving that in a courtroom 3 decades later just seems, well, nearly impossible. How do you definitively prove a guy handed over a gun in 1996? The weapon is gone, the alleged shooter is dead, right?
Yeah, the physical evidence is practically non-existent.
And any surviving witnesses have had 30 years to forget everything or, completely change their stories.
It's a colossal hurdle for the state.
Yeah.
They're basically forced to rely on, a patchwork of police interviews and self-published memoirs that Davis himself released over the years.
Wait, he wrote a memoir about this?
Yeah, he's made a lot of public statements. And the prosecution has to convince a jury that these old fragmented confessions bridge that huge gap left by the missing physical evidence.
Wow. Relying on shifting public statements in a culture where people constantly boast about street credibility, that just opens up a massive lane for the defense to argue reasonable doubt.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they're going to say that bragging in an interview years later doesn't equal hard forensic proof of a crime.
Right, which means this trial is going to test not just the remaining evidence, but the actual limits of delayed justice.
Yeah, it's going to last several weeks. And it could set a huge precedent for how we handle historical cold cases.
And it might finally provide answers to one of music's biggest mysteries, which leaves you, the listener, with a final question to ponder on your own as this trial dominates the news.
It really makes you think about human memory, doesn't it?
Exactly. When a murder case goes to trial nearly 30 years after the fact, how much does that massive gap in time warp the memories and the evidence needed to finally uncover the truth?